Hi everyone, lots of news here. This is from Hull Live. Now, Hull is a place in the northeast of England. It's become well known in the XJW map because of Mark, Witness No More, who just shared so much of his unjust journey. I mean, he was not treated well. He has been very open with what he went through and exposed a lot. And through that, there have been groups of others. They've joined together to help each other as they've realized the doctrines are just wrong, unsupportable. There has been a problem regionally where they are with child abuse cover-ups, and I think a lot of this seemed to start with a good friend of Mark's who he was studying with and different things. I mean, Mark had been JW for many years, but it was someone in the Anointed who got thrown out, basically, not for doing anything wrong, but the presumptuousness. If you're going to believe in the structure of an anointed 144,000 and then go, well, we're just the earthly, taggers along us with you, but we're going to throw you out. And that's what woke Mark up and started looking. So I'm going to try and get through this excellent article without any kind of little internal explosions, because it's so angry. But there are lies. There are lies again in this report from Jehovah's Witnesses. Sorry, not from the reporter, but from Jehovah's Witnesses. So fasten your seatbelts, and in we go. So here they are again. Oh, and by the way, if anyone is in contact with Mark, please send him my love and thoughts. Things, he hit some problems about some stuff, but he's missed and he's loved and he's cared for. I mean, the problems weren't of his making, and he does get a lot of messages and he just can't keep up with them all because that's how his life is. But those who directly interact, just pass that on. So we got the headline, and this paper, you'll see as we go down the article, this paper has done so many articles on Jehovah's Witnesses in the area. So they're talking about the protests that have just happened this week, last weekend in London, and will be happening again this coming weekend. So Sharon Smithson has spoken out. Well, Sharon, look, she's just put her cards on the table and said, here we are. And they've got, look at that, even a video for you to tap to see. I'll put a link, as always, to this article, and you can have a look at that all yourself. So this ex-JW from Hull joined the protest to raise concerns over human rights violations. Thousands of Jehovah's Witnesses have been making their way to annual conventions in the capital for Bible instruction. But former members were down in force to make their voice heard with banners and placards, and Sharon Smithson was down to represent former members in Hull who have previously talked about the problems they have faced with shunning and being disfellowshipped. Another photo of it there, look. Can't deny them. That's a great turnout. Former members in Hull previously told Hull Live about their experiences within the group. Click through a link on that, and the pain of being told to leave. They described how they have been isolated from loved ones, with parents and siblings not even speaking to them, simply because they questioned elements of the doctrine preached by the religious group. And then they've got, look at these previous articles, so you can click through and find out the history in that region. This is all recent history. Those within the group can be disfellowshipped, which is a form of excommunication, and they say they are then shunned. Positive reaction. Mrs. Smithson travelled to London with her husband to stand by other former members. We were not sure what to expect when we went down, but we received a very positive reaction, she said. The general public were happy to see us there, and even some witness members were secretly messaging us to say they were glad we were here. The convention took place at the weekend at the XL Arena in London, and there will be another one this weekend. It's been very thorough. All their reports in Hull Live have been very thorough. Another picture, Armageddon messages. Great picture there. Very good. While some of the programme encourages living by Christian principles, Mrs. Smithson said, on the last day of the convention, the concluding talk and video carries the urgent message about impending Armageddon and talks about the faithful Jehovah's Witnesses being herded into a field to be executed by government forces. We joined others at the XL Arena London from America, Canada and Europe to protest about Jehovah's Witness violations on human rights. That is irrefutable, such as disfellowshipping, shunning, their policies on blood transfusions and the two-witness rule, which protects paedophiles from being reported to the police. One witness sent to us a message using a fake name in fear she would be found out, telling us that she is self-harming and her parents are emotionally abusive to her. She feels trapped. Now there are a lot of messages on XJW Reddit from young J-dubs having to live at home. They're trapped. They're trying to get to a legal age of emancipation. Other times their parents find out that the children aren't believing. Parents just throw them out. Doesn't matter if it's legal or not, just throw them out. So please, if you're in that situation, if you can find a school counsellor, charity to speak to, please do. And to be self-harming and things, poor thing. Another message was sent by another Jehovah's Witness saying they wanted to come over to talk to us but was being watched by witness attendants. That's what it's like. And if caught talking to us, we'll be in trouble, yeah. So now we have Adrian there. And now was it Adrian that Mark did a great interview with? Really good interview. So she had told Whole Live earlier this year about the damage done to former witnesses. She said witnesses are now contacting, this has been a big feature of Whole, witnesses are now contacting non-witnesses, telling them to have nothing to do with us. This is the sense of entitlement that they can tell someone totally outside the sect, oh, don't speak to that, don't speak to that person, because what? That's not healthy on any level. She said witnesses are now the policy and procedures in place make Jehovah's Witnesses an organization of abuse and oppression. Every area of life is controlled and monitored by the organization. Shunning means the whole family, including family and friends, are told to avoid and ignore the person disfellowshipped. Former Whole Witness Bill, not his real name, explained that non-witnesses are now being approached. He said even members of the public who are not witnesses are even being shunned. Sorry, I chuckle a bit because it's so absurd. It's just so hard not to speak to us, but that they're being shunned for having sympathy with us. So even nothing to do with J-dubs. You're now being shunned. I have a good friend who is not a witness, and he's been told not to speak to us, but he refused, and now he is being shunned. It's childish. So childish. Witnesses who cannot follow procedure are labelled apostate, which means they are unchristian. No, well, only in JW land. But we are all Christians as we follow Christ. And maybe, and just to put a balance on that, some people leaving will not identify as Christians anymore. That's, that doesn't have to be a negative thing. Threats of being disfellowshipped are increasing, and it is becoming a witch hunt. Harmful cult. Another picture. Mrs. Smithson admits she was pleased she went down to London to make her voice heard. We need the authorities to realise in our modern day there are people being brought up in harmful cults, such as Jehovah's Witnesses, she said, and wanting to leave, but comes at serious consequences of losing family, friends and jobs in some cases. Yep, and that's happened in Hull. Many have committed suicide through this cult, which is governed by 8 leaders in America, This should not be happening in today's society, Will said. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that Armageddon is just around the corner again, and humanity is now in the last days. They believe only they will survive and everyone else will perish. The denomination was founded in the US towards the end of the 19th century under the leadership of Charles Taze Russell. There are about 6.9 million active witnesses in 235 countries in the world, including 1 million in the US and 130,000 in the UK. Another Exol London picture. Members of the movement are probably best known for their door-to-door evangelical work and refusing blood transfusions. Jehovah's Witnesses in Hull confirmed 2 members had recently been disfellowshipped, but denied there is any purge. You got the... Oh! Okay, explosion coming up, stopping. Well, excuse me, but Jehovah's Witnesses in Hull are lying bastards, because Mark has a recording about the purge, the whole purge. That is in a recording from, what's his first name? Rose, the great dictator. What did he say? Shunning. This is what we do. Kevin McFree's channel did a great video on that. Shunning. This is what we do. It exists. Their big circuit boss saying, we're having a purge. You are liars yet again. It's disgusting. You know, and if you believed in this stuff, you wouldn't lie. You would stand there and go, yeah, this is it. I would put in the audio of it being said that there's a purge. Many of you will have heard that, and do please comment to show to others it happened. No public tit-for-tat debate. Oh, they sure do it on your doorstep. One elder told Hull Live earlier this year they will not get into a tit-for-tat debate in public. Why not? Why not? The spokesman previously explained that they're getting to it on blooming YouTube. Spokesman previously explained the process of disfellowship and shunning. Okay, calm. Because this is going to be a huge lying bastard alert. He said those who were baptized as Jehovah's Witnesses but no longer preached to others, perhaps even drifting away from association with fellow believers, are not shunned. I nearly said a really rude word. You, whoever you are, we don't have your name, you are a lying bastard. You're a lying bastard because marking talks are given to the congregation about people. Some others have reported they were pioneering for years. They've given up absolutely years of their life to do the best they can to preach, and when they had to give up pioneering, they're shunned. So you're a liar. You are a liar. In fact, we reach out to them and try to rekindle their spiritual interest. You may turn up on their doorstep and go in and say, go out on the service more. That's what you offer, because you have no skills. You have no skills to offer anything more. And if there's other problems going on, which can be physical, mental, emotional health problems, all sorts of things that can happen, you don't have the skills to do it. It's just go out on the doors more. Now, this is a very interesting point. We do not automatically disfellowship someone who commits a serious sin. However, you certainly don't do it for someone who bloody rapes a child, do you? We know that. If 57% of the 1,006 known child abusers in Australia, none of them, you just left them to carry on. You didn't report any of them. Yeah, we know that. Just the minor things, isn't it? Oh, someone had a cigarette. Someone's got PTSD and they're self-medicating with alcohol. Yeah, you can go out. You can go out. If, however, a baptized witness makes a practice of breaking the Bible's moral code and does not repent, he or she will be shunned. or disfellowship. You see how immediately this is like the defamation, the lies, the defamation of character upon others. So they are now associating the shunning and disfellowshipping arrangement with breaking a moral code. I didn't see Mark breaking a moral code, did you? I didn't see that happening. But oh no, you know, you must have been doing X, Y. It's disgusting. You are sometimes you're just every filthy thing. It's disgusting. The religious ties someone who is disfellowshipped had with their family changes, but blood ties remain. You've lied again. You have lied again. You have lied again. You've lied again, just like your lawyer lied in Canada to the Canada courts earlier this year. Look at all the videos about it. I put one up. Loads of other people did. You've lied again. How many lies? How dare you? How dare you look at people and lie? And surely, JWs, if you read this stuff, you know that's not true. You know that if you have anything to do with certain family members, you're gonna get a shepherding call, you'll get a marking talk against you, and you'll start getting shunned by the congregation. Do not lie. You cannot lie in this day and age and get away with it. There is too much evidence. The marriage relationship and normal family affections and dealings continue. You goddamn liars. You liars. You don't even when a relative dies, you don't respect. You don't respect the disfellowship person. You don't at funerals. Commiserate, open your heart to them. Nothing. Look, oh, some of you are very good at looking down your nose.
You liar! Liar!
The spokesman also said there is a way back for those who are disfellowshipped. You see, that's a lie again, isn't it? How many people have gone back for years and years and just can't get back? Also, that's not scriptural. That's presuming they can stay alive long enough to get reinstated. And back to what? A way back, what? A way back to sit in a congregation next to some goddamn paedophile that the elders know about. Who wants to go back to that pile of excrement? Who wants to go back to the lies? Who wants to go back to the hypocrisies? Who wants to go back to the failed prophecies? Who wants to go back to the overlapping generations? Who wants to go back to Bethlehem? Who wants to go back to the millions now living will never die? You'd have to be a damn fool, wouldn't you? How dare you? Global concern of sexual abuse. Calm. Jehovah's Witnesses have been at the centre of controversy more widely. Two senior members of the Jehovah's Witnesses in Australia will face a Royal Commission, I can't get the tense of that found the organisation does not adequately protect children from being sexually abused, and we try and drag them kicking and screaming into safeguarding policies. The Jehovah's Witnesses maintain they act on any allegation of child sex abuse. You could say you act. I mean, calling the child a liar is acting on the charges. So, well, I give you that. You didn't lie on that, but a little bit double dabbling there. Despite the Child Abuse Royal Commission finding, they have not reported a single one of 1,006 alleged perpetrators to police since 1950, and don't forget that 57% of those did confess. Its November 2016 report said the organisation wrongly relies on a two-witness rule with 2,000-year-old biblical origins when handling complaints. They don't use the two-witness rule for other things. Meanwhile, Russia has branded the organisation extremist, which led to all the branches in the country being dissolved. So there you are. Yes, I lost it again. Every time you lie, it's going to be seen. Watchtower. Every time you lie, it will be brought out into the light. And yeah, we're all flawed. We all have to be forgiven. I know I do all the time. But I don't call myself the truth. You do. And you're liars. Thanks for watching. Best to all. Bye.